You are listening to the Two Gingerz podcast, streaming on Apple Podcasts and Podbean now. Here are your hosts, Sir William and the Duchess.
Good day. It's me, the Duchess, and I have with me the big and burly Sir William.
Big and burly.
Well, it's so cold outside. You're all bundled up.
I know.
You look like an Eskimo.
I know. Which is very unique for me because I'm usually so hot all
I know.
the time.
I can't believe you didn't walk in your Birkenstocks.
I'm still drinking iced coffee, though.
Of course you
I
are.
got iced coffee in my veins.
Well, duh. It's the best because, you know, you and I, we can drink it faster than when it's too hot.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm a big, huge fan of the iced coffee year-round as
think
well.
Whoever decides to do this first is going to be a big winner in the coffee game between Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks. They need a coffee IV drip.
Ooh, uh-huh.
So, like, you're sitting at work.
It's not Dunkin'
typing
Donuts
away.
anymore, though.
Oh, it's just Dunkin'?
Yeah.
You're sitting at work, you're typing away,
Right.
and it just drip into your thing, and you're never tired.
Yeah.
There's no lows. It just stays at a certain height.
Yeah. I think that there's problems in that, but I can understand why your brain would go to that.
Probably there's some problems.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I'm not one to throw stones or anything, but hello. I haven't seen you in a few days, and you didn't even notice I got my bang and bangs back.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did that just happen yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh.
It did. And my wonderful stylist, Chanel, was like, you're the third one that got bang and bangs today. They're coming back.
Is that the stylist for the stars?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
She cut my hair once.
She did.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're coming back. The bang and bangs.
The
You heard it
bang
here
and bangs.
first.
All right.
Heard
Cool.
it here first.
Well, you know why I haven't seen you in a while? It's so freaking cold.
I know.
I think the phone lines froze too.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
I
it's
know.
just unbelievable.
It takes everything in my willpower to get into that freezing cold car to drive to Jazzercise. Everything. And then I'm like, you know what? We don't need milk that bad.
Right.
We can go another couple days. I just need to get home.
Putting water on your cornflakes.
Yes. But I don't know if you've done this yet. Over at Mariano's, which has quickly become my favorite grocery store, I can have a glass of rosé to warm up while I'm shopping.
Right.
So it makes things a little bit nicer, just a little bit easier to take.
Palatable grocery shopping.
Yes.
You know, I was driving over here and there were these, you know, the like bushes or whatever that are no leaves or anything on them. There were icicles hanging from
I know.
them. It was actually beautiful.
Yes.
But I was like, oh my God, it's so cold.
I know. Did you see that clip on social media? And it was a police officer that arrested Elsa.
Yes.
That was classic.
That was great.
I'm like,
yes.
yeah.
That was funny.
Because that's really needs to happen.
That actually made national news.
Yeah.
They said,
Or
it's so cold in Illinois, they arrested Frozen.
I saw another one that was like, does anybody else feel like we're in an argument with Mother Nature? And she just keeps coming back going, and another thing.
Right. That's a good one.
I'm like,
That's
yes, that's exactly, because we had that beautiful 60-degree weather day.
Yeah.
And then I was the dingling out there saying, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be so great if we were just right into spring? And then we had that polar vortex.
Right.
And then more snow. And oh my goodness.
It's totally that conversation because, you know, we had an awesome December too, if you
I know.
recall.
Oh, I
There was
do.
nothing.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny. I'm going to ask this question again. I think we've even talked about it here in the studio, but is the weather more intense now than it was when we were kids? Or are we just in that era?
Are we just getting older?
Are we just getting older? Because I remember listening to like grown-ups or adults, and it felt like all they were talking about was weather. And I'm like, how boring.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're a kid, like shoveling snow, no big deal.
Right.
Now, like I get stressed
threw your
over it.
back
I'm like,
out.
my back, my knees.
I
I'm
know.
like, how do I get my neighbor to plow my
Right.
driveway?
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
But I definitely think that's a little bit more extreme than it used to be.
You know, it's a great question. We're not going to break down global warming today, but we should on a future show. But,
sure.
But these extremes are worse.
Yeah.
And these events, like the storms and all that kind of thing, I think are worse. Really hard question for me to answer because I've always joked, as you know, I've lived here for 25 years now, and I'm still waiting for it to snow. Like when we've had snow over the last 4 or 5 days, and it's amounted to, it's stayed on the ground, and they're 2-3 inch events or whatever.
Right.
Our temperatures have been almost exactly the same as they are in Minnesota, but it's been snowing the whole time.
Oh.
Like they have like 20-foot drifts and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
So it's insane.
Yeah.
It's because you have all of this stuff and then snow on top of it.
Right.
So like when I complain that our roads, there's a lot of ice and stuff, they're like, yeah, that's our winter. It's just ice. Yeah. That's what you got to deal with.
No thanks.
So I think, but
I'm not a fan.
But we set records,
not a fan.
know, this winter with
I know.
The polar vortex, cold days and stuff like that. So I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. That's my take on it.
Well, I don't want to be just an old fart talking about weather. Okay. So let's talk about something more fun. Like where's the best place to go?
Like if we couldn't stay here.
If we couldn't stay here, where in the world could we go? Because I just got back from Arizona. We were just there over the weekend, and it rained. It rained in Arizona. Here we thought we were going to have this great little getaway in the sunshine, just going to zip over there for a few days because here in District 158, we get a nice little 5-day break because, you know, the president's weekend is awesome. And it rained. It was cloudy. It got down in the 40s at night. I'm like, where am I? What is happening? But the sun still came out. And see, that's the thing for me. Like, I can even handle the winter months. I need to see the sun. It can be snowing some days and cold other days. But when it's cold, can the sun just be out? That's when it's so much better.
Pretty.
Right.
You know, you're not looking at just death.
Yeah. So the Minions did some research for us. Yeah,
and what's interesting about their research is, and I kind of asked them to go in this direction. I'm not 100% all about the heat, although in these days I would prefer it. But there's some things that they came up with. This is a current, like, in the moment today list. The best places to go in February 2019.
Okay.
Or you could probably extend it into March too, the way our weather's trending.
Okay.
So yeah, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Nevis. Have you ever heard of Nevis?
Is that in the Caribbean?
It is, yes. And it's the favorite of people like Meryl Streep, Justin Trudeau, Beyonce. Mainly because they have empty beaches, stunning landscape that comes from volcanoes, and everybody there is apparently super laid back.
Interesting.
So that's one to put on your list of.
Well, it's like a 7-hour flight.
Okay.
So, and not a whole lot of airlines fly direct from Chicago. Okay. So I'm not going to shoot this one down, but I'm going to say probably not going to go on my short list for the president's weekend.
No.
This one might surprise you. Montreal, Canada. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not for the faint of heart, but those that don't mind bundling up and embracing bitter cold will discover a city with plenty to offer. Have you ever been to Montreal?
I have not. I've never been to Canada.
Really?
Which is funny because I'm a citizen.
Interesting.
Of Canada.
Okay. So during the first 2 weekends of February.
I passed the test at your house, so I don't know why you gave me that look.
You can go to Montreal's annual snow festival.
Okay.
I mean, but see,
that's
why?
Cool.
Like, but why am I leaving cold for cold? That's ridiculous.
Well, here we have cold and nothing to do but shovel.
Okay.
So
you can also go to the Festival of Lights, which is a really cool arts festival that kicks off on the 21st of February each year. That sounds kind of cool, but yeah, no. For me,
you got to have some heat, or at least moderate.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, this one's interesting. Venice, Italy.
I'm in.
And yeah, I'm in. I'm going to Italy anytime I can go to Italy.
Right.
I don't care what the timetable is, but it's arguably the most festive in February.
How come?
Which is interesting. Well, the Carnival of Venice is a big deal there.
Oh,
I'm sure you've heard of that.
yes.
And it takes place at the beginning of the month.
Uh-huh.
And this is what's so cool, the history of the city. This Carnival of Venice dates back to the 12th century.
Isn't that wild?
It's hard to wrap your arms around that. So
I'm 12 years? No,
12th century. Yeah. So that would be.
Don't they have a masquerade ball too?
They do. Yeah. It's a big deal.
That's awesome.
So something to think about.
How about Africa's East Coast, Spice Island, aka Zanzibar?
I would go there just because the name is
cool. Oh my gosh. Fantastic option for those in search of both history and natural beauty. It's a small island unique with a mix of cultures, influence from the Middle East, Africa, and Portuguese. The climate is near perfect year-round, but February is particularly idyllic time to visit when diving conditions are at their best. See, I'm not a diver, but I've been meeting some people that are really into diving, and man, I would never think Africa is a place to go. But why
diving,
not?
But
why not?
Yeah, very cool.
Same thing. Really long flight, though.
Yeah. You want to hear about a short flight?
Yes, please.
And man, I might be too cold to think about this, but this is a great call. Our sister at the other end of the Mississippi, NOLA.
Yes.
New Orleans.
Yep.
So
you can go for Mardi Gras.
This is the best time of the year. Yeah, because
but that's technically in March, right?
Yeah, but it's funny because in New Orleans, it's like Mardi Gras all the time.
Right.
And they actually have pre-parties and stuff that start in February. Mardi Gras specific parties and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the weather's pretty good there, but man, there's so many cool things if you have not been there and you don't even have to be a big partier.
No, it helps, there's so much history there and so much to do that, of course, if you want to just go on a bender and party or tush off, you can. But there's so much more to it than just the parties.
Right. I mean, you could just walk up and down Bourbon Street and people watch, and
completely.
That would be worth the flight down there. But then there's the French Quarter that's so cool.
Yes.
And there's just... It is a lot of history and a lot of crazy stuff like the grave sites above ground and stuff is weird.
I would like to go back now that I'm a little bit more mature.
Yeah.
Because when
Cultured?
when I was there.
You're the Duchess now.
I was there for a bender. I mean, I didn't really, appreciate what its history.
I learned about fruity drinks and martinis and stuff, but
the 25-cent martini brunch.
Yeah.
So how about this, Sir William? Abu Dhabi.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Maroon 5.
It does? Oh, yeah, it does. But we can't talk about that here.
Long story.
So the temperatures range from the high 60s to the high 70s only. You can visit to the beautiful Grand Mosque, architectural marvel and chandeliers encrusted with millions of crystals. I mean, Abu Dhabi, I kid you not, is on my list. Not for work, but to really go and just experience it.
Yeah. Well, isn't Mr. Big kind of a big deal there?
He is a really big deal there. And, he's often wanted to include me, but... Oh my God.
Well, if he's working the whole
20 hours to get there and then he's going to be working the whole time, that does not sound fun to me.
Right.
But there are some stunning resorts. Isn't there Man, is that where they just put, not just, but did they put in one of those, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name of it. It's in Nassau. It's a big resort. Atlantis.
Oh.
Is that in Abu Dhabi, or is that?
Oh, that they have commercials for now all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure which one that's in, but yeah.
Anyway.
That is beautiful.
It really is on my list because I just think it would be really fun to go. But anyway.
Well, the Minion struck gold with this next one. I have no knowledge of Sri Lanka.
What? How could you not? I thought you went there.
No.
Oh.
No, never been. It's not on the bucket list or the map where I list every place I've been.
Okay.
It's not even close.
All right.
Anyway, they apparently lately have a boom of major tourists.
Really?
Establishing itself as a must-visit destination for luxury travelers. Maybe that's why I've never been there.
Maybe.
Because I'm not a luxury traveler. Yeah. It's just a 2-hour drive from Colombo, which means nothing to me either.
Okay.
They have a place called the Orchid House, which is one of the area's best places for souvenirs. The shopkeepers will even make you a cup of tea while you browse.
Oh, thank you.
That's very nice.
That's awesome.
Shopkeeper.
Well, then this next one, you'll be surprised. We actually just talked about this at our home. Singapore.
Oh.
Yeah, because Big was asking little mama if she could go anywhere in the world, like where would she want to go? And, you know, when you're asking a 10-and-a-half-year-old kid that, they kind of sometimes stare at you with a blank stare. And we were talking about Singapore, but I was under the understanding that it was always brutally warm there. Like hot. It does have a reputation for its oppressively hot climate. However, in February, the temperatures and humidity are quite mild.
This is a tip from the travel tip from the Duchess.
There you go. February is the time to go.
New segment.
Now, a few can't miss things if you do go to Singapore is the Singapore Botanic Gardens, late night eats at Chomp Chomp Hawker Center.
How fun does that sound?
Chomp Chomp. And a visit to the National Gallery.
Oh.
I know. So there's a lot to do there. And if I ever go, I want to stay at the St. Regis Singapore. If you haven't looked this up on Google, you are missing out.
Yeah, check that out.
It is stunning.
Amazing.
And then we go to Florida.
Yeah, this next place, I've heard 1,000 people talk about it, but
Yes.
I've never been. I mean, I've been to Florida.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like everywhere else but Florida, but
Yeah.
this place, but Naples, Florida.
Yeah.
It's a sunny seaside city that officially has made its post-Hurricane Irma comeback. It is arguably now better than ever. And why February, you ask?
Yeah, why?
Well, clearly, again, the weather is
Right.
much better than it gets in the summer.
Yeah.
But they also play host to the 40th annual Naples National Art Festival.
Oh.
Which has some of the country's top artists, and that's at the end of February, so you still have time.
Okay.
23rd and 24th.
And golf.
Golf is amazing.
Yeah.
The shopping there is
Yes.
supposedly amazing, and then they have incredible hotels.
Yes.
The Ritz-Carlton,
Yep.
Naples Grand Beach Resort, the Inn on Fifth.
Yeah, we have a couple that just last year purchased a little condo in Naples. And, well, not little, but they purchased a condo in Naples, and they're forever flying, because it's a quick flight from Chicago to Naples. It's
Right.
not that big of a deal. You really could do that for the weekend.
Right.
And have it not be a big thing. Another one that might be surprising to you is Park City, Utah.
Oh, that is
This is
surprising.
for your avid skier, though. You should definitely consider going in February just after the holidays and post Sundance rush. The former silver mining town has managed to maintain its intimate ski village feel, even though it now boasts the country's largest ski resort. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, some of these places, like that one, probably, like, it has to do with the time of the year and
Yeah.
the crowds that are there.
Right.
Like Disney, for instance, in Florida and Orlando, I've heard the best time to go there is actually the week between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
Because nobody's there.
Right.
You get the run of the park.
Yeah.
And it's not like nobody's there,
right.
but you can literally get off a ride and get on the next one. You don't need the
I've
fast
heard that
pass.
too, except Christmas Day.
It's probably insane.
Nuts.
Yeah.
They actually close the park when they get at capacity, which is usually around noon.
Yeah.
And New Year's Eve is also big. But if you can hit it, you're right. And like those 3 or 4 days in between.
Actually, what I've heard is the only people that are there are local people. That's when they go.
That's when they go.
So
makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
So there's a few places to consider.
There's a few ideas to consider.
You can't do it this February. You can start planning for next year.
That's right.
Here in the D158, we have that break every year.
I know. I love it.
Thank you, presidents.
I love it so much. You know, it's so much cheaper to fly and to do something fun over that long weekend versus spring break.
Right.
Because everything gets jacked up for spring break. The flights, the hotels, everything.
Well, and there's certain places you don't even want to go because it's spring breakers are going.
Yeah. So I'd much rather do it.
Cool. Although it feels like
this
is the second or third one we've had this cold winter.
Yeah.
But you can't bank on snow days, you know, obviously if you're traveling.
Right.
So.
Now let me ask you this, switching gears, talking about school. Would school districts ever consider making the spring break like optional? You know, like it was brought up in one of my conversations offline with someone that instead of us having to go into June now because of the snow days, what if we were to forfeit our spring break and just go through that way?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think the reason it probably wouldn't happen is what we just talked about, because let's say you guys were inspired by our list and decided next year you're going to Abu Dhabi, right? And you're probably going to start looking at tickets in November or whatever. And so people book the trips. They don't know about the snow days.
Right.
We actually, at the D158, we have to put our calendar out like 2 years in advance.
Yes.
So people can do that. So I think because the spring break is the only thing that's not movable.
Okay.
And then the other thing too, well, there's a couple things. As the kids get older, there are some sort of school-related trips that are being planned.
Yeah, you're right.
And then, finally, we have to think about our great teachers and stuff, too.
Sure, they need a break, but, they're getting that long weekend.
Yeah, well, again, you don't know you're getting those until the event happens. So
right.
So
where we're at right now, though, isn't it built into our calendar to have some snow days?
Every year we assume 5.
Right. So as of right now, isn't D158 still on track to get out at the original date of like May something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and the end point is got to be determined way in advance as well, because of the graduation of the high school kids.
Yeah.
So
interesting. All right. I didn't mean to jump us off a cliff and talk about something else. But here's the next thing. So if you're not going anywhere, you're stuck inside, you keep looking outside and it's cold and icy and gray and gloomy. I don't know about you, but I really want some comforting food. And unfortunately, you keep hearing about how summer bodies are made in the winter.
Right.
But when you're freezing and all you want is yummy mac and cheese or like big hearty stews,
right,
it's not really helping your summer body.
Well, the flip side to that is people who are in the middle of chaotic lives. If it's as cold as it is now, you're not going to the fast food place.
Oh, true.
Because you don't want to leave your house.
True.
So you're probably better off eating some more natural food that might be a little bit more on the not diet side,
right,
per se.
Well, I'll be the first one to admit that is my downfall, because I want nothing more than like a big steaming bowl of mac and cheese or some like spaghetti and meatballs, something super hearty, really bad for me.
Right.
So we came up with some other ideas.
Well, and I got to tell you, when you brought this up after our pre-show meeting, I sent a message to Brent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but Brent has been sending out emails and tweets and Snapchats and stuff like that about how we haven't talked about him for a long time.
All right.
So, you know what he titled this section?
What?
15 foods to eat. We just said, show us some warm foods.
Right.
15 foods to eat when it's cold as balls. Thanks, Brett.
Well, maybe it's because his name is Brent, not Brett.
Brent.
That's why. See?
I got to get to know these guys a
I
little
know.
better.
Oh, man.
It's
All
terrible.
right. Well, this first one I'll get on board, okay? Spicy pumpkin soup.
Oh.
Okay, that's not going to be that bad for you, right?
No.
A soup is always a good option.
Yeah.
Because it does fill you up. It's nice and warm.
Right.
Makes you toasty.
Right. And
Of course, his link that he sent us is broken.
Doesn't work,
So
yeah.
I can't tell you how to make
But it
one.
does say that
but you can
there's-
Google it.
there's a vegetarian component to this. So
Yeah.
there's vitamins and all that stuff.
Right.
Which is good.
Right.
It looks like all the links are broken. So we're not going to have any
Great.
directions on this. But
Google it.
the 10-minute beef stew.
See, I am not a stew person by any means, but I know some people who are, and there's a ton of protein in it. So, you can add quinoa to make it even more
Yep.
protein packed.
Yeah. You want to use a slow cooker on that one.
Yeah,
So
Definitely.
throw all your stuff in, hit the button, and
right.
go,
Set it and forget it.
Go read a magazine.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Now, this one I will have to Google or Pinterest the recipe because ginger curry egg drop soup, sign me up. I've never made egg drop soup. I always just order it when I'm out.
Yep.
I'm not a huge curry fan, but I am a huge ginger fan. And ginger is really good for us during the winter because it'll help with our immune system. So you want to add that into your
Load up on the ginger.
daily.
You can never have too much ginger.
Never.
That's what I say. Okay, the next one is one of Panera's great soups, the broccoli cheddar soup.
Are you a fan?
I'm not a fan of broccoli.
No, me neither.
But man, do the people who like that love that soup.
I know.
So
Now, you talked about the slow cooker before. You could also do the slow cooker turkey chili.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds better to me.
Yeah,
than
it's
the
a
stew.
little bit it's a little bit lighter on the calorie side
Yeah.
and a little bit better for your heart
Okay.
than the red meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can
My-
always add more, like I said before, quinoa, boost up your protein, or just add more beans.
Yeah, or in my case, I don't like the beans, so I get the
Oh.
chili without the beans.
Oh, okay.
And that sounds good with the turkey.
There you go.
Kids would like this next one, pizza, mac, and cheese.
Interesting.
Can you imagine?
No.
That's like a mashup, right, from college?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I can do that one. Mm-mm.
Oh, I need to try it.
I love mac and cheese, though.
I love me some mac and cheese.
And I love me some pizza. But again, that's going against what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to build my summer body right now.
all these restaurants now that serve mac and cheese.
Yeah.
They are starting to get creative.
They are.
With the toppings and
Right,
stuff,
with like
so
pulled pork or
Yeah.
bacon
Oh,
or
so
chicken or, yeah.
I gotta go.
Okay, but we only have 3 more. French onion soup, grilled cheese.
Now, Brent left a photo of this on there.
Oh my God.
I mean, how good does that look?
It looks phenomenal.
So basically, it's probably grilled cheese.
With onions.
Yeah, I mean,
I know. Why didn't we try that before?
I don't know. That looks really good.
It does look really good. I'm a huge French onion soup fan, though.
Yeah, me too.
I love it.
And actually, when I go to Panera, I like dipping the bread in there too. So this would be phenomenal.
Who has the best French onion soup? I can't even tell you the last time that I had it.
Man. Well, I don't know specifically which place, but I can tell you that it's got to come in a crock.
Totes.
And it's got to have cheese just everywhere.
Yeah, oozing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so hungry. Okay.
How about this? Oh, this next one. Baked banana s'mores. There's a photo of this one as well.
That does sound really good.
Yeah, it's basically just a s'more
Bananas,
with
mushrooms, and marshmallows.
Oh, you turned that one nasty on a dime. Ugh.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Marshmallows.
Yeah.
Oh man. Really, Brent? Microwave chia and flaxseed oatmeal? See, he's trying to win me over.
Yeah.
Because he knows that I'm a big fan of the chia seeds, but really...
He gives you all the healthy ones. He gives me the mushrooms and
all right,
bananas.
then I'm going to say the molten mushrooms. The molten chocolate cake.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we are taking a dive into dessert town.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be good. Especially around Valentine's Day.
Totally.
Bust out some of those. We got some drinks for you, too, because we don't want to leave you without drinks. How about some boozy mulled hot chocolate?
Sure.
What?
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Or a mulled wine.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you mull wine?
Well, you have to. It's basically a sangria that's warm.
Okay.
So they call it mulled wine.
Got it.
You know, but that's the best way for me to explain it to you.
Yeah.
There's more to it than that,
Sure.
but that's the easiest way.
This next one is a staple for me whenever I get a head cold. The hot toddy.
I will never forget when I was coming down with a cold a few years back. And you told me that I needed to make a hot toddy. And I was like, what? What is that? How do I make it? And you're like talking me through. And I was totally better the next day.
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And I don't like tea.
Yeah.
And that's the main component. Well,
Right.
not the main one. But
Right. No, it
It's one of
totally
two.
saved me. But
Yeah.
it only saves you if you have just like a little bit of rumblings. Like if you are getting a full on,
it's not.
it's not going to help you.
Well, if you do
Full-on
it,
cold.
but one of the things it does is it definitely helps you sleep.
Yes. And that's really what you need
And
when
that's
you're
what
sick.
you need. Yeah. So check out Hot Toddy, especially you young people.
Whippersnappers.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say.
How about this next one? You probably really gonna like that.
Ginger tea.
Oh yeah.
It's so good for you. It soothes your throat. It boosts your immunity. I'm telling you, ginger, add it in. I like a little ginger and a little lemon, a little bit of honey. Mix it all together in hot water. It's great. You don't even need the tea bag.
Okay.
Like I don't usually use tea.
Yeah.
But I like hot water with like lemon or just adding a few spices. Like I like it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
So now you've traveled or didn't.
Yep.
If you didn't, you're making
Sorry.
some good warm foods. What else can you do? Do you find yourself like on the snow days that we've had, like I know with little mama, she has gone from she needs to be attached to your hip every minute of every day to now she is a little more independent and wants to do stuff on her own. I don't even see my children when it's a snow day.
Yeah.
They're in the room communicating with people all over the world
Right.
via Xbox.
Right.
So do you find yourself like, because you're kind of stuck in your house for the most part,
Yeah.
you find yourself looking for stuff to do?
Yes. Because it goes a little bit like this. The morning is, where is she? Stuck on an iPad or sneaking some cartoons or a show or 3 or 4. Soon as lunch hits, then it's entertain me. What are we going to do for the rest of the day?
Okay.
So it's only good for like the morning. Then the whole afternoon until Big gets home, or God forbid he's still out of the country, that's when I'm on.
And you and I are similar in that we're both very much creatures of habit. So when a snow day hits, we already have a plan for that day. So this takes that plan and throws it completely in the garbage can.
Yeah.
Right? So it's already frustrating.
Right.
So you got to reshuffle and figure out not only when are you going to do all the stuff you were going to do that day,
Right.
but what are you going to do that day?
What are you going to do? Well, one thing that I really do try to encourage on that day is why don't you go ahead and get caught up on some sleep?
It's a great idea.
Why don't you get up, have a breakfast, and just head on back to bed for a little bit?
Yeah, you know, I always used to like wonder, I would go to my grandparents' house when I was young.
Yeah.
Every single time, every day, my grandpa would leave like in the middle of a conversation, go up to his room and take a nap.
I love it.
For like 45 minutes
I
or
love it.
AKA disco nap, you know?
Love it.
And he was always, never seemed tired, always seemed to have energy,
Right.
you know? Did his thing till like 95.
I know. There is something to be said about the siesta every day.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, look at other countries.
Yeah.
That's built into their day.
I know.
We're so messed up here about,
working
work. People to death.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And then you hear, how many times out of 10 do you hear now somebody retires and they drop dead like the next week?
I know. It's awful.
What is that?
Right.
So I'm a big fan too, especially because I have had many sleepless nights.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a thing to catching up like that.
Right. But take advantage.
It helps.
If you can.
Right.
Go back to bed for a little bit.
Exactly. You can also catch up with friends.
Yeah.
It's a really good thing. I have a friend who travels. She travels all the time for her job. And she was like on Facebook one day and realized she only knows her friends now because of Facebook. Like she never sees them because her 2 kids are, out of the house in college and stuff. And so when she comes home, she's grocery shopping, cleaning the house, doing stuff, and getting her bag packed for the next week.
Yeah.
And then she's gone again. So she decided to come up with this thing called Small Bites or something like that. Mm-hmm. And she's friends from like a bunch of different things. She's going through and inviting like friends of the same thing over to her house for dinner. Mm-hmm. So she and then this other woman were mothers of kids. Our 3 kids went to kindergarten together. Mm-hmm. This would be the emeritus producer.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So that was how many years ago? Like 17 years ago.
Yeah.
Literally haven't talked to these people in like 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
They know everything.
Right.
Because it's
social
on
media.
Facebook.
Right.
But we got together, had dinner, like
that's awesome.
Especially the girls were really like, this is the greatest thing ever. They're reminiscing about how they used to daycare kids and couldn't wait to get rid of them, and then they'd go have a drink in the backyard or stuff like that. It was like, I don't know that was happening, so it was just fun. But it's a good time because seriously, like, how often do you have, I got an extra hour to do nothing. I'm going to call Sir William, see what he's doing. Right. It's usually like, hey, do you want a coffee? You coming over? What time? Boop, that.
Right. Got to go, go.
That's what everybody does. So take it. I guess the message for all these things is going to be take advantage of it.
Totally. Well, I definitely utilize the FaceTime on snow days because if Lil Mama's bored, she can FaceTime with a friend.
Right.
And it's like a virtual play date.
Right.
We didn't have those options back in the day.
No, we didn't.
You were stuck in that house and you couldn't use the phone because what if there was an important call coming in?
Right.
You're like, what? You could clean your closet. Give away things you no longer need.
Yeah, that's a winter activity anyway.
Yeah.
But
it is.
If it's a 1-day deal.
Right.
With some people, it might be more.
Or you could take it one step further and figure out what you could sell.
Yeah, see if you can make some extra cash.
Why not?
Just on the snow day.
Sure.
Why not? Yeah. How about take an online course? Or, like the kids we were talking earlier about are on the video, YouTube all the time. You can actually YouTube anything now. You were having problems with your Netflix earlier today on your iPad.
Yeah.
I went to YouTube
to
see,
what we could do.
And like kudos to all those people who are really frustrated trying to figure something out, whether it's cooking or fixing something or whatever. Totally. And they're like, I don't want everyone in the world to have the same frustration I did. I'm going to go make a YouTube video.
I know.
They're not getting paid for it in most cases. They just are. Yeah. I'd like to think they're out there helping their fellow man. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can learn anything.
I love it. You could catch up on your favorite shows or you could rewatch old ones, friends. This is always a good time. We make a fort in the living room and throw on some old school stuff that Lil Mom has never seen before. That's a good time.
Yeah, if you're doing it with your family, that's good. If you're doing it by yourself, you might want to limit yourself to like 2 hours of this because catching up on TV can turn into nap time, can turn into whatever. And next thing you know,
where did the day go?
Where's dinner?
Yeah.
try something new in the recipe department.
Yeah.
It's always a good time.
Totally.
Again, this is a day where you can't plan on having extra time during your regular days.
Right.
So this is one where you have all the time in the world.
Right.
If you're a good planner, you don't have to go outside to go get that gallon of milk or whatever. You've got everything in your house, and you just, relax.
You could read a good book. I know you're a big fan.
Oh my gosh. I got a really good one for Christmas.
Yeah.
I haven't started it.
Haven't even opened it.
No, I need to read it. It's been a must read for me.
There you go.
I'll talk about it on a future show.
Okay.
I can't even remember the title. That's why. Play some games. We talked about this.
Always.
I got to ask you a question. Maybe we should turn this into a question we ask the people.
Okay.
We're trying to bring back some things that were staples, and now they've drifted away as the kids get a little older. My two banana heads are a freshman in high school and in 6th grade, so it's really a lot harder to get their attention for anything. So we're trying to bring back, we can't do dinner together every night because one of the three of us is always gone.
Okay.
So we're trying to do Sunday night dinner, mandatory. And then trying to roll in some board games or something afterwards. I wouldn't even care if it was we all watch a TV show together. But I mean, these guys are if they sit at the kitchen table, that's an if too. They are just hit and run.
Well, Sir William,
share some strategies.
I don't have a kid who is addicted to video games, so I can't talk to that side.
Maybe some of the people do.
Maybe they can help with that. However, I am a huge fan of playing old school board games. And some nights, little mama looks at Big and I and rolls her eyes and says, "For real?" And we say, "Yeah." So you get to pick Uno or Life. Which one? But it's inevitable. It turns into a good time. It brings out good conversation. And you're just spending quality time together.
For those of you who might have little ones or who are just starting your family, take notes on some of these things.
Seriously.
It is so much harder to try to bring something back that is gone.
Right.
It's next to impossible.
Right.
And, these are every single person I know. You can answer this on the post. We'll make a post about this. Every person I know who grew up in the 70s, 80s, in my case, the 40s, did this stuff. This is just what you did.
Right.
And I wouldn't even use the word mandatory. It was mandatory, but it didn't feel like that.
No.
It was that you looked forward to it.
Right. That's just what you did.
It's what you did. Yeah.
Right.
So we got to get back to that.
Yeah.
Old school.
You could take a trip down memory lane and look at all your old pictures.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Don't do that enough these days.
No.
Do some home exercises.
What?
Zumba?
No.
Yoga?
Yeah.
Jazzercise?
Sure.
Then you won't feel so bad about eating that pumpkin soup.
I know. Training for this 8K coming up in March has really helped because I dedicate so much time to jazzercise and learning new routines and constantly working on jazzercise. There is something to be said about cross-training, and the one thing that I don't get especially when I'm instructing jazzercise, when you're instructing, you're thinking about so many things at once. I'm trying to remember the counts. I'm trying to remember the movements.
Right.
I'm trying to talk to you so that to do everything properly. When I'm running, I can just clear my mind.
Yeah.
And it has really been awesome. It's really been awesome. So yes, I'm a big fan. And it's really good for your little ones to see you doing this.
Right.
So why not do it together?
Exactly.
We had a plank challenge going between the three of us, and we do little, in school when they have to do the president's challenge, when you have to do so many push-ups and so many sit-ups and all that jazz. We try to do it here, and oh my goodness, it was It was
Do you have
hard.
a pull-up bar anywhere?
No, we don't have a pull-up
That's a tough
bar.
one to find a pull-up bar.
Yeah. And you know what? I can't do a pull-up to save my life.
I actually never could.
We were just at, this is a sidebar, but we were just at that store, Five Below.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're national, but we have them here, and everything is $5 or less in this store. And they had...
It's a step up from the dollars.
It is. They had this like octagon-looking thing, and it's kind of squishy, but it has all these different exercises on it. So when you roll it, like whatever pops up, it's like 15 burpees. And I joked to Big that he should get that for little mama for Valentine's Day. And he's like, she would kill me. I'm like, yeah, she probably would. And don't get it for me either, because I'd be really mad.
Because I'd kill you too.
Yeah. I think if you can get this going in your house, it does set a good practice. And it also sends a good message that just because you're stuck inside doesn't mean that it's a free-for-all. You can eat whatever you want. You don't have to work out.
Right.
Still get your workout in somehow.
I am going to share something about the family of the Duchess that maybe the people don't know. And it's high risk because you got to look on your face like, what's he going to say? No, one of the things I admire about your family is that you guys turn everything into an Olympics. It's so great. With standings, with medals and stuff like that. Know. It's amazing. It could be anything. All right, we're going to have breakfast Olympics. Ready? Go. Make the eggs. It's like it's very competitive and fun, but that's the thing. We're forced now to make it fun for the kids if you want to get them to participate. Okay.
Your turn.
Fun. Cuddle.
Oh, okay.
With your partner, with your friends. That's a little weird. With your pets or with your blanket.
Yeah. My heated.
Yeah, you can use your heated.
Okay.
What about your kids too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mia keeps telling me this story about Kenny Loggins, the singer. Mm-hmm. Apparently, he and his wife have like 13 kids, and they have a custom-made bed. It's like 2 king-size beds.
Stop it.
And they have all their kids in the bed.
You could dance. Turn on a dance party.
There you go. Or sing.
Okay.
Do a little karaoke.
How about a spa day? Take a nice little bubble bath, maybe do a face mask, paint some toes and fingernails. It's fun. It's a good time.
It is fun.
Yeah.
I don't know why you need a snow day for this next one, but shop online.
This is like every day.
Yeah, this is like as soon as an idea pops into my head. Shop online.
Let's do it.
When the urge kicks in, start looking at all those sale items. I mean,
That's all I've been doing right now.
You're shopping while we're doing the show. You
for
guys,
your birthday.
If you hear in the background, look at these boots I just found. Yeah, that would be you shopping.
Work on your portfolio or resume.
Boy, does that not sound like a snow day thing.
I know. It sounds like a snooze fest is what it sounds like.
Right.
Yeah.
How about I heard a DJ say this the other day to carve out a period of time, and this guy even goes into his like man cave or whatever and takes an hour or two a day and just listens to music, like puts the headphones on and does not, like, don't interrupt me, I'm listening to music. Can you even like imagine doing that? Well,
I can now, because I just recently had a new purchase.
Really?
Yes. Ironic. And remember that I always have a problem with my headphones, right? Yeah. Because I can't wear the little earbuds. Right. So I always have to wear those big, giant Beats headphones, which is fine, but I don't want to run with that.
Which is fine if you're recording a podcast.
Okay. Or I have to wear what are they called? Like they're cloth and not cloth, but you know they're about. Yeah. They're a fabric. And they're a circle and they go over your whole ear, and it's just gross. Well, I found a product, thanks to Facebook for listening to me, or Instagram, and it is a wireless flat headphone.
So it doesn't go in your ear.
It doesn't go in. It goes over like I need.
Yeah.
But it's also bendable, so you can get it exactly where you need it to stay in place. These are sweat proof.
Wow.
But they were actually invented to sleep with.
Really?
To listen to music as you go to sleep. They're called bed phones.
Okay.
So they had a Kickstarter campaign, and the first go around, they weren't wireless.
Okay, now they are.
This next go around, they're now wireless. They're sweat proof, so I can use them.
How's the sound?
It's good.
Not great.
It's not phenomenal. I'll say it's great. It's really, really good for what it is.
Right.
You of course are going to lose some of that sound by not being completely in your ear,
right.
But I'm not used to that.
Right.
I can't have that anyway. So I will absolutely give my thumbs up for this. It's made by a company called Duchess Labs, and they're bed phones because a lot of people do like to listen to relaxing music to fall asleep, but then those little plugs are in your ear and it hurts when you lay down. But I'm all about it. If you have problems like me with your ears for those little buds, try these out.
Are they reasonable?
They are reasonable. And you know what? I really lucked out. Maybe I shouldn't share this with our listeners, but they found me on social media and it was like, if you order today, it's 10% off. Use this code. And I don't remember what it was, but let's just say it was like Tuesday 10%.
Right.
So I was just like, I don't know, let's try Tuesday 20%. And it worked. So then I'm like, deleted that. And I'm like, how about Tuesday 30%? That did not work. But I got it for 20% off. So like at the end of the day, in and out, it was under $100.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let's try it out. But I am a big advocate of bringing down, like what we're talking about, like I just said with the running, like clearing your mind. So whether that be like going into Zen mode and meditating or breathing or praying or whatever you do, I'm a big advocate of doing that every day, not just on a snow day, but really giving yourself time to recharge is really important. And I don't think that people really understand that. So when you're super duper fried, first thing you should do is recharge yourself.
I love it. Well, that's about all the time we have.
That's it, man.
Just, you know what? I think the overall message here is if you get a day off that you're not expecting, don't let your OCD kick in and stress out about it. Just retool, reshuffle the deck, and take advantage of the time.
Exactly.
That's what we tried to help you with, and there are numerous ways you can take advantage of it.
Catch up on your favorite podcasts and go back to the beginning.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
That's it.
That's all the time we have.
Stay classy.
Bye-bye.
But stay classy.
Bye-bye.
Please follow us on social media. Our website is twogingerz.com. That's Gingerz with a Z. On Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest at 2Gingerz. And on Twitter at 2Gingerz. At Sir William 1015 and at the Duchess 1015. The Two Gingerz podcast is written, hosted, and produced by Sir William Guerin and the Duchess, Kate Curtin. Head over to our website for more at twogingerz.com. That's Gingerz with a Z. Also be sure to hit that subscribe button to get our weekly podcasts on Apple Podcasts.